Good afternoon and welcome to this episode of Superior Angling. We are here with Joey and Josh in the boat, and today we are on a local Duluth, Minnesota reservoir, and we are going to be chasing afternoon walleyes. And why I say afternoon is because it's 4 o'clock right now. There's no need to really get out here all day unless you want to fish all day, but we're really kind of focusing in on that evening bite, which these local Duluth lakes are known for. Whether you're on Island or Rice, Fish, Boulder, you really have to take advantage of kind of the final 2 to 3 hours of the day to capitalize on a great walleye bite. And yes, there's fantastic fishing that can happen here during the spring and summer months. So right now it's about mid-June. Our water temps are finally warming up. Our walleyes are becoming active. We're starting to see some weed growth, some good bait setting up in places. So we're really looking forward to it this afternoon, see what it can bring. I know there's a lot of nice walleyes to be caught out here. Let's kind of motor over to our spot, get some electronics going, our live scope and our side scan, kind of narrow down our area that we want to fish, do some scouting, and then we're going to get some lines in the water. Stick with us, it's going to be a good one. Got him. That's a big fish. Look at that.
Season 5 of Superior Angling TV is brought to you by Holden Insurance Agency and the rest of our fabulous sponsors.
At spot number 1 on the day. If you take a look at the graph here, we're in about 12.5 feet and we got weeds that come up to about 8. They're kind of sparse, they're kind of sporadic, blotchy chunks of weeds. What we're gonna do here, since it's earlier in the day, we're gonna stay out on this deeper water. 12 to 13 feet is fairly deep for the body of water we're in right now. And we're gonna set our slip bobbers kind of higher up in the water column and try to tickle the tops of those weeds for those walleyes. They should be hanging in the bottom of those weeds, so when we throw some leeches over the tops of those weeds, we're going to try to get those things to come out of those weeds and eat. All right, so here's what we're running today. We got a 7-foot medium light spinning rod. We got 10-pound braided line. And then from there, we put our bobber stop on there. I like the nylon ones because they seem to stick to the line better. Some of the more ropey kind of ones are a little more bulky, and when you reel them through your eyelets, they can get stuck at the tip when you're reeling in a fish, and it makes you adjust your depth like every cast. And we don't want to do that. We want bobber stops that are going to stick on the line where we put them, and so we can reel them all the way up with no trouble and recast and replicate where we just caught those fish depth-wise. From there, we got a bead. We got our bobber with the metal kind of grommet in the top. From there, we have our 2 split shots to another bead, to a barrel swivel. From there, I like to run fluorocarbon over mono just because it's kind of abrasion resistant. And I run anywhere from 10 to 15-pound fluorocarbon in these lakes. The water's not too clear up here, so you don't really have to worry about walleyes being real picky with how heavy your fluorocarbon is. I'm not saying run steel leaders, but I like fluorocarbon because it's abrasion resistant and I like a little bit heavier. This is 12-pound. And from there, we got a pink jig. See, I like jigs under slip bobbers, real small ones when there's waves. So when we have some chop on the water and that bobber is down there, that jig will be essentially just kind of jigging really subtly. Compared to when it's real flat out and the bobbers aren't moving very much, rather than that jig just staying there stagnant, that's when I'll run a plain hook and let the leech, impart the action on the hook there. Because in the waves, if you're running a plain hook rather than a jig, that leech is just going to be kind of jerked around by that bobber when those waves are pulling it up and down. So that's why I run jigs in a little bit of wind, real small ones, and then I run, probably tonight we're going to run, when it calms down, because it's supposed to calm down later, we're going to run single hooks to give that leech a little bit more natural action. Now that we're all rigged up, I'm going to show you how to hook a leech that I like to do it anyways. So we got our leeches here. I like biggest jumbo leeches you can find. It seems like it always plucks off a little bit bigger walleyes, and keeps kind of the panfish from nibbling your bait off. I like to hook my leech in the middle of the body when I'm using a slip bobber, not when I'm using like a Lindy rig or something like that. But when I hook it in the middle of the body, it just seems like my hookups are way better. Those walleyes don't necessarily grab the end of it then, they just kind of take the whole thing. You just seem to hook up way more when you hook them in the middle of the body. So that's what I like to do. Let's get this thing in the water and show you how it's done. Got a bobber down here.
Bobber down?
Bobber down. I'm gonna reel up on him.
I'm still rigging up my rod.
I'm gonna check my drag quick. Pretty sure it's a walleye. Feel for a little weight in the tip. Add a little slip. There it is. Ooh, that
looks good, Joe.
That looks heavy, Grant.
That looks good. That looks good.
That feels like a good one.
Jordan's got his line in the water. I don't even have my rod rigged up yet.
Not too far from the boat either. We saw him on the Panoptics.
Oh, that's
there.
a big walleye, Joe. Look at that.
Oh, look at that one.
Oh my God.
That's a nice one for the Duluth area. Get him in there.
Look at that.
There we go.
Wow. That happened fast.
That was quick.
That's the way to start your afternoon.
That was.
And when we say afternoon, there's really no need to get out here right away in the morning. Like to have your best action, you know, like we did today. You get out here at, 4 o'clock, you do some scouting around, you find your spot, we use our live scope, we found a couple fish and cast it in, and that didn't take 2 minutes.
Right. I mean, we weren't expecting much here until, that last hour or two before dark, and here we are.
And that's a
just set up.
Big walleye, man.
That's a beautiful Duluth walleye.
Let's take a look at it.
Look at that one. All right, first one of the day. That's how we like to start right there. Look at it, there he is perking up the dorsal. That's a beautiful Duluth walleye. Great start to the day. Hopefully this is a sign of what's to come for tonight. I mean, we weren't really expecting much early on like this. It's usually a kind of a last light bite. But it plucked probably one of the bigger ones of the year out here right away. Just choked that jig too. Get this one back in the water here. Warm water temp, so you got to kind of handle these fish pretty quickly. There she goes. Beauty.
Bobber down.
Bobber down. Oh. There you go. That's out there, man.
Got him.
Oh, that looks good.
That feels good, Joe.
I'm gonna grab the net.
That feels good, Joe.
Good fish there.
It's so much fun watching them. Like, you go through a little lull with no fish for 10, 15 minutes, but seeing them on the live scope just gives you that confidence that they're still here. And without that, it's like you'd be wondering if you should move, if you should go to a different spot, or go shallower, go deeper. But we're constantly seeing fish on the live scope.
You had
this
that.
Is a nice fish.
You had that bobber out.
Well,
I
just got done casting. I kind of whipped it out there, and we have a nice little drift going with that wind.
Right.
Feels like a good fish, man.
It's got some. Looks like it's pretty heavy, huh?
I can see it.
Oh yeah. Look. Oh, that's another nice one, man.
That's a nice walleye.
That's another nice one, Grant.
He got into the weeds.
You got into the weeds a little bit.
Beauty.
There you go, man.
I love it. I love it.
That's a beauty.
We're seeing some nice fish here, man. We're seeing some very, very nice fish. I mean, for a local Duluth reservoir, seeing fish of this caliber, I mean, that's, that's another one in that, 21, 22, 23 inch range. I mean, you just can't beat that. I mean, great fish. Let's take a look at it. All right, man, look at that walleye. And that right there is another key to your success, weeds. Weeds will attract and hold bait fish in the summer months, and that's why these walleyes are in here. We're seeing the balls of bait on the live scope. It gives you confidence that there's, bigger fish around chasing those balls of bait. So weeds hold walleyes. Walleyes love weeds. Yes, it can be kind of difficult to fish walleyes in weeds, but you just got to know that that's where they're going to be at this time of year. So look at that. Another nice walleye in that, low 20 inch range, which is fabulous to see. Let's get this fish back. Look at that, there she goes. For a Duluth lake, The one that we're on here today is relatively clear water. I mean, you can see down there a little bit, but when that wind gets going, you get more algae and more, more sediment in the water. It kind of cuts down that visibility. But light winds today, you get some increased visibility. So that gives me a little bit more confidence that, as that sun continues to get lower and lower and even into dark, these walleyes are going to be feeding pretty good. So we know there's a lot of fish around. We are constantly seeing them on our electronics. It's all just bite windows and timing. So the sun is not really our friend as it gets lower. I think the bite's going to pick up, but we are having a heck of a time right now. Bobber down, bobber down, bobber down, bobber down. Bobber down.
Ready?
No, that's dunk. That's dunk.
That's a good fish. That's got some weight.
You can just tell how much your rod doubles over right away.
You can just tell it's got weight right away. Feels like another good one. I don't know if it's in the same class as your last one was and my first one was, but
I'll grab the net for you.
It's a good one.
I'll grab the net for you.
Ooh,
oh
she's
yeah.
coming alive by the boat here. Feels
Man,
like I might have
yeah, you
underplayed this one
You
here.
underestimated her, that's for sure.
She's dogging right by the boat. Ooh, this is gonna be a good one, I think. Sometimes they deceive you when that bobber's far out there, and you got that slack.
But instantly, whenever you set the hook, I look at your rod tip because we are catching some sunfish and whatnot.
That's a nice walleye.
That's a very nice walleye, buddy.
It's another one of those
spunky,
low 20-inch fish there.
There we go.
Right in the snoot.
That's a nice fish, buddy.
There we go.
Unreal.
Beauty.
This is a blast. Slip bobber walleyes, waiting for that sun to go down. I mean, a nice June day, like temperatures are warm, your water temps are warming up. These walleyes are just becoming more and more active as weed growth develops. Your bait fish kind of move in here and these walleyes come alive. Let's get this fish into the boat and take a look at her.
Here we go. There's another beautiful fish. For Duluth Lake, like we've been saying, these are really, really quality fish. You don't see that, everywhere. So this was on, I kind of switched it up. Earlier I was using a little jig. I switched it up and I used a single little white hook there with some 10-pound fluoro to my bobber rig there. And that one was on a leech as well. The bigger, the fatter, the juicier, the better. And that's a beauty right there. We're kind of just starting to get down to that. Oh, Grant's hooked up.
Fish. This rod is right next to the boat. That's a big walleye, man. That's
Here,
a
I'll
big
come
walleye. Joe, I need the net.
Oh,
this is insanity.
Look at that. Look at that. We got a net full of walleye and a fistful of walleye.
I'm going to come up here. I'm going to come up here. Look at this. That is...
Look at that. They're like cousins, man. All these fish are just so quality.
Look at that.
Look at these.
That's a double. I'm in the back of the boat while Joe's up here talking about his. The rod back there, just a boosh, just dives over.
Look at those fish, huh? Chunks.
I got to get the pliers for this one.
There goes yours. There she goes.
Right down the bottom. That is pretty cool. Pretty cool to experience that quality of fish right here in Duluth. Slip bobbers and leeches.
Simple slip bobber rig.
That's madness.
Just a bobber,
that's madness.
2 split shot, to a swivel, to a hook.
To a plain hook and a leech. That's the magic combo.
Simple
That's
fishing.
the magic combo.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Let's get back out there. Bobber down. Oh,
That's a
walleye.
That's a walleye.
You know it instantly as soon as you set the hook. I'm gonna keep my line out there because these fish are starting to, that's another nice walleye, buddy.
There he goes by the boat again.
They put up a heck of a fight right next to the boat.
They're going nuts right here.
Look at that.
It's just dog.
How fun is that, huh?
Never gets old seeing a bobber go down.
Your icon is just like getting worked. Look at this.
Look at that bad boy. Just another beauty.
Into the green bay net that goes. These are all this gorgeous fish.
They are. You
It's
know,
like we're not catching like 14 inchers. Like these are all like legit, like
yeah.
19, 20, 21, 22s.
I don't know if we've caught a fish under 19 inches.
No, I really don't think so. I really don't think so. I mean, they're just gorgeous looking fish. Healthy, spunky.
There she is. You can see, hooked it right in the tip of the nose there. Oh, just popped right off. When I hook that leech, I like to hook them right in the middle of the body. You know, a lot of people like to hook them right on the end of the sucker or right behind the sucker. I put them in that body and I found my hookups are a lot better when compared to missing a lot of fish when they just grab the backside of that leech. So give it a try. Hook that thing right in the middle of the body and I bet you'll see your hookups go up. Beautiful walleye.
Down, I'm down. Fish. That's another walleye too, buddy.
Nice one.
Let yours go.
I should let this guy go here. There he goes.
See, I kept my line out there for a reason. If I would have reeled up, we would not be hooked up right now.
Try and get my line out of the way. Where are you coming? Over here? Over here? All right.
We're going over here.
Pandemonium.
Over here.
There he goes, right by the boat.
Yeah. Yeah, he wants to go back over here. He wants to
to
go
the other
back over here. Madness. You got to take advantage of those bite windows, though. That's what this is all about. It's just staying patient, you know. It's hard to have patience, but look at this. That's another just solid fish.
Another 20 incher.
Look at that. Hooked in the same spot as yours, Joe.
Right in the snoot.
Right in the tip of the nose. So, you know, theoretically, maybe I could have waited a little bit longer, but you see that bobber go down.
Yep.
I mean, it's pretty exciting. You set the hook. It's almost like setting the hook on a top water when you're throwing it. You always set it too early, you know, but using a plain hook like this and that leech hooked right in the middle of the body, that was the ticket. Let's take a look at this one. Look at that. You could consider that another double. Another double. And the big, you know, number 2 chartreuse hook right in the tip of the snout. And what we did is, you know, earlier we're using some you know, 16th and 32nd ounce jigs when we had some wind and wave action, but now that wind's really died down and it's seeming like that plain hook is working a little bit better. So let's get this fish back in the water. Again, a very healthy walleye. It's just great to see a fishery like this thrive. So let's get this fish back.
Beauty.
Look at that. So as your water temps warm up throughout the summer, you just gotta, you know, be more and more careful with your fish. Get them back into the water quicker. You know, if you start releasing fish and you're noticing that they're having a hard time, you know, adjust. Maybe you know, net your fish, keep them in the water the whole time and unhook them. You know, so always be observant and, you know, help protect the resource. These are special fish. You know, especially this year with all the increased angling pressure, you really got to pay attention and take care of these lakes to get your fish back. You know, be careful with them so you can ensure a healthy fishery into the future. I love it. All right, so when I cast, what I like to do on a longer cast, I stop my bobber right before it hits the water, and then I drop my rod tip and I let my line float on the surface so I can see that line kind of going out. That gives me reassurance that you know, the hook is, you know, sliding through the slip bobber and going down and taking up that extra line. Grab the net, buddy. That's a good one.
Yeah, this is another solid walleye.
Jeepers, Joe.
Look at them. They're just, we haven't caught a fish under 20 inches.
No, I don't think they exist in this spot. I mean, every fish is just huge, huh? What a fight they put up in the shallow water.
Yeah.
You get that warmer water temps, their metabolism so high, they're so spunky and so ferocious. It's they put up a heck of a fight, especially on lighter weight, you know, spinning reel.
Yeah, that's the fun part, you know,
spinning rods.
7-foot medium light St. Croix spinning rod.
You can't go wrong with a 7-foot medium light.
No, it's so much fun.
Let's take a look at this guy.
There he is, beauty. That average size is just ridiculous for the Duluth area. You know, the only other spot you really see these size fish consistently is the St. Louis River, which is a world-class fishery. So these reservoir lakes in Duluth have the potential for these fish. So get out there and give it a try, you know. Spend the time, find your fish. You can get on ones like this.
8 o'clock, I'm usually in bed right now. Fish,
that's a Waldo. I got a bobber down here over here too.
You're down too? Take it. I'll net my own. Every man for himself in fishes like this. This Legend Extreme is.
I think this is not a Waldo.
I'm getting worked, man, and I love it. Man, you can just feel every head shake with that Legend Extreme.
If I can get this guy off and...
Oh.
Whoa.
See ya.
Man, it's no joke when they come by the boat.
No, it's not. It is not. This bite is mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing.
Bobber's down right and left.
It is. It really is.
Well, that's a real nice one.
That is a nice walleye, man.
That one's probably pushing 22, 23 there. Oh,
look at that.
All right.
Let's take a look at this guy. That's a big fish. Not only does this fish have the length, but it's also got the girth, man.
Beefy.
Look at that. That is a chunky Duluth walleye who's pretty spunky. He's gonna pose for the camera there. We're gonna get a quick look at him. Unbelievable. On a night with barely any wind, and we are on, I mean, this is some of the best walleye fishing I've had of the year, and I've traveled to a lot of places, and this is right here in Duluth.
Yeah, it's pretty special and overlooked, that's for sure.
For sure. Definitely flies under the radar. A couple boats around, but not many for the quality of fish we're seeing. Let's get the hook out of this guy and get it back in the water.
Yeah, that's a nice one. Yeah, not bad, huh? That's the reel up. This is a big fish, man. This thing, I can't even control it right now. Oh my gosh, I was sitting over here just messing around, and all of a sudden I hear my drag peel on my rod at the back of the boat. This is a big fish too. Yeah, he does not want to give up. See if I can get back here so Joey can.
You need a
get
net,
the
man?
net. I guess so.
Gosh, you are on the big uns. It's another nice one.
Not bad, huh?
Beauty.
Oh my gosh, wasn't even manning the rod.
Twilight walleyes. Tough to beat.
Uh-huh.
What a day. Holy moly.
Man.
That's a beauty there, buddy.
Yeah, what a day we've had, huh?
Yeah, no kidding. The sun's getting low in the sky, just dipped below the trees, and I think that's a great fish to end it on, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a beauty.
What a day we've had. Duluth area lake, average size, I don't think we caught a fish below 20 inches today, and that's a nice probably 23, 24 incher to end it. Beautiful night, not a lick of wind, and plenty of walleyes. From all of us at Superior Angling, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.